All right, so today I'm going to go over how I finished my 4 week green streak. And it was a simple setup, but this is why I always say do recap and journal back to see, what you missed, what you can improve on. So let's break through the trade, right? So we saw that we were pretty much choppy on during the morning, right? I like the setup. Initially, I missed the buys off the open, and the move really has been happening off the open, right as soon as the market opens, and I don't like to execute when the market opens. But to give you an example, right, this is where I could have seen it to prevent the loss. But why I like the buys I took was because on the hourly we broke the internal high, right? So my 4 steps is going to be, you guys already know at this point, but let's do this real quick so you guys are aware. Step 1, the break. Step 2, OB, imbalance. Step 3, fibs. Step 4, retest, right? That's my 4 steps. So if I look here, step 1, break. Step 2, order block, imbalance. Step 3, fibs, which is here. And then step 4, retest. And as you guys can see, it did retest and it pushed up. So for me, the 4 steps lined up, and that's why I told you guys I'm confident. I'm 2xing everything because I was super confident on this setup, because we came to fill the imbalances we held. We closed the hourly above the daily open as well. So for me, this is a high confidence setup to continue higher into pretty much into 33.21. So the hourly looked good. We bounced off the premium here, and then if I keep breaking it down to small time frame, let's see, 30-minute also held here, right? Held daily open, cool. And if I go into the 15-minute also held, right? We held this order block here, we filled this imbalance here, we held daily open. So larger time frame, hourly, 30-minute, 15-minute also were telling me, hey, we're holding, we're gonna continue higher. And that's why I had a bigger stop loss, because I was focused on the larger time frame here, right? Now the only thing where I did mess up, and I told you guys, as soon as the market opened, I was looking for short off of a 5-minute rejection, but I didn't want to play off the open. Do you guys remember when I said the 5-minute broke to the downside here? We broke below this low on the 5-minute. It's retesting, right? It came to retest this imbalance. I say as long as we don't break above here, we can short it. And that's exactly what it did. Came, right, 8:35 here, first 5 minutes, it broke, came to retest, boom. Then the first 15 minutes, it closed below. That should have been my sign that the 15-minute couldn't get above the previous day high, couldn't get above this after sweeping the liquidity. That should have been my sign not too long. But when I went down to the 5-minute, I saw that we filled this imbalance. I was like, okay, we already swept the liquidity. We had this inverse fair value gap here. We have this new support built in with the support. So I said, this is easy longs to long into 33.21. So I was like, cool. So we longed it, trying to anticipate, a break above previous day high and a break above this high to continue higher. And the other biggest thing I'd say I'd messed up was I should have just set a hard stop at the low here, because this right here it's like the last line of defense. And that's why I had that 30,168 hard stop. But then I moved it because I was trying to focus on the hourly time frame, which is my mess up. So I broke 2 rules there. Rule number 1 for me that I broke, what was it? Was simply not waiting for the 5-minute to close above. Like, as I always say, let's wait for confirmation, wait for the 5 minutes to break above the high to have confirmation that we're going to continue higher, and something I didn't wait for. And most importantly, it's crazy because we were in buys and then we went for a little bit in profit. We got stopped break even. I was like, I knew why I put break even was because ES was about to sweep a double top. So I was like, if it sweeps it and then rejects, it can be a nasty fall. But I like the momentum we had here on NQ to continue higher. And then if we look at ES here, like I said, that double top was pretty simple. Like I messed that one up. As you guys can see here, this double top here was just a sweep, and then it came to tap this imbalance that didn't get tapped the whole overnight and in the morning. So once we came and tapped it, we rejected it and just free fell from there, as you guys can see. But this was 15-minute low kept holding. So that's why I was so confident long, because NQ, ES, QQ, SPY, we're still holding those important levels. And then after that, what do you see? The 15-minute just broke, but it's a massive sell-off after with that break of candle. So realistically, there's nothing we can do in a situation like this. It's just we had to wait for the time frame that I was waiting to be stopped out on. Unfortunately, it was a massive move, which was like about 100 points, and that sucks. But it's like I said, I was confident. I 2x'd everything, and how could I have like minimized my risk? I would say was the hard stop here, or I could have gone to the 1 minute, but I really didn't want to trade the 1 minute here because I was focused on a larger time frame setup, and I could have just risked the hard stop here, maybe 10 points below this, which would have been 31.95, and then that would have told me, hey, we're gonna continue lower, right? So that was my mistake, was pretty much not setting a hard stop a little bit sooner. My first biggest mistake was not waiting for the confirmation to break above, as you guys can see on NQ and as you guys can see on ES. We just couldn't break above, and that's one thing that I was telling myself, let's wait for the confirmation to break above the high, because here we broke these lows, we broke this order block here. It came to retest, was simply a buy to sell, a double top, swept the liquidity to continue lower. The only reason I liked the longs was because ES didn't break this low, so I thought we had some divergence between NQ and ES here, some bullish divergence, as NQ broke below but ES didn't, and as you guys can see, we kept holding on ES, so that's why I was looking for the upside. But yeah, this sweep here, and then I could have gone to the 1 minute, look for a 1 minute shift down, and then we saw that we closed below the 1 minute low here, and we saw we closed below daily open. That was my sign. That was like the red alert, like get out, get out, get out. I guess it's something that I missed. But yeah, that's how I took that loss, unfortunately. Like I said, this is why I like backtesting, this is why I like journaling, to see where I went wrong, and that just prepares me for the next day. You know, next week, like I've been doing is I have to tell myself, I have to wait for the close above, I have to wait for the close below, I have to wait for confirmation, wait for confirmation. The reason we went on such a crazy win streak for 4 weeks was because every single day we waited for the confirmation, we waited for the setup, we waited for it to tell us, hey, you can get in now, okay, now get out, you know. Instead, yesterday, like I said, I really wasn't feeling the best. Like I was so drained, I was mentally just drained from the week. It was tough. So I really felt it, and I just felt like, cool, let's just catch this quick trade real quick. And I always say the quick ones, the quick profits is the ones that bag you the fastest, and that's a prime example. But yeah, that's exactly how I lost. And realistically, I didn't expect us to come into the 4-hour range to pretty much retest, right, to continue higher on Friday, which we did though. As you guys can see, we tapped to the 4-hour 50%, the 4 steps, 4-hour 50%, and bounced off of that there, held the 7800 psych level. And if you guys look at NQ as well, NQ came into the 4-hour 50%, previous week high retest, held, and then continued higher, right? So, and then it's retesting the 1 hour buy to sell, but I don't want to rely on the buy to sell yet. If we held the 30,000 psych level, if we held 7800 psych level on ES as well. So just got to see if we fill this up, or if I'm looking for downside around here, it's going to be pretty much, let's see, because we still haven't swept that data low over here, right, on NQ. We did on ES but not NQ. So what I could wait for, it's either hourly 50% here, wait for it to tap, and then wait for the confirmation of a shift to the downside, then look to short it. But if we don't get that, I'm not going to be looking to short. I'll just be possibly looking for longs on a continuation break of a high. But that is exactly how we ended the 4-week win streak. And like I said, it's always okay to admit to yourself when you're wrong, rather than not trying to take the loss and, you know, doing dumb shit. Rather just accept it, know where you went wrong, admit to yourself, journal that, so that you can prevent that same mistake again. But yeah, guys, hope this helped you. Hope this made you understand why I took the buys, why it was valid, why I thought it was valid off the larger time frame, and why it was invalidated in the smaller time frame. But yeah.